Hi and welcome to day 15 of Inktober Tangles challenge. And today we have another tangle that starts with a grid, so it's same as the one that we used yesterday. It's same as more or less like this one, and I think I will extend this ribbon to the left using this new tangle. And what I will do, because I actually need kind of a solid line, I will just add a line and I will on purpose make it a little bit wavy, or it will not be a straight line. And this is something that I do because I find that we can't really add straight lines because just we are humans and they can't be straight, so it's best to deliberately make them not straight. I'm zooming in again because I want to draw here on the bottom, and I will start drawing the first one. So you can basically start with just maybe even adding these square shapes because it's drawn in a square shape, but I want to do something different. I want to use this shape that I have here as a starting point for this tangle. So I have something, it's not square, but it's kind of an extension of what I did here, and I don't care if it's not like perfect. And now I will, it's almost again like print stump, right? Or ambler that we had here, which is a square print stump. Once you do this, you only add some weighting. So you add weighting in a way that enhances it, almost look like something is squished, almost like if you would like to fold a mattress or something like that. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So this is what the shape looks like. And of course you could start with a shape that's really like square grid, but I don't want to do that. So I will just use one, oops, and then go to the next one and do this in a way that kind of makes sense. Everything makes sense, it's not like you should do it in a specific way to make sense, just to make sure what makes sense on your piece of paper might not make sense on mine. So do it in a way that feels right for you. And if you want to start with a square grid, that's totally fine. I just decided to make mine a little bit more, I don't know, freestyle version of it. And I will just continue with that. And I will add roundings also between individual units of this tangle. Did I say its name? It's Tofube. I hope I will write it down, by Dami. And I've never seen or used it before. It's kind of cute. It's very simple. Maybe like this, and I think I might maybe extend this and see what later I will decide to do on this left side. But now I'm just kind of going to add some more of these print stump, squarish print stump. And the roundings. So it's very repetitive, it's kind of boring, but I think maybe where we can play with this a little bit more is when we start adding shades and highlights. This is where it might become a little bit more interesting and different from the way that somebody else draws it. So it's not going to be anything very unusual or anything special, but still, I think with certain choices, you can make it a little bit more interesting when it comes to giving it some volume. I might need not to only switch to a new blending stump. I think I might need to switch to a new PN pen. And I always kind of feel bad to throw away anything. And I don't recommend that approach because it's just supplies and I use them a lot. But still, I always think, well, I can use it for some, I don't know, flicking or some things like that. I'm thinking about maybe adding a few more of these cracks and folds somewhere. What do you think? Is it something that kind of adds some more interest to visual interest to this? I don't know. I will not overdo it. I think that's enough. And now for shading and highlighting. I will, for shading, rotate this, and I will have to be kind of mindful about how I do it so that I'm in your screen. I want to add shades to the bottom part of this. And maybe I can just do one first, and then after I show you what my approach will be, so I now shaded the bottom part of the shape, and it's kind of the left part of it. So now if I turn it around like this, you see that it's also this, oh my god, not right, left, but right part of it. So I will be consistent with it. I will add a little bit more to that right part of each of these sections. So I'm looking at each of these and adding some shades to the bottom part and to the right part. And then I will just add highlights to the rest of it. It kind of has a nice volume, at least from what I see, at least from what I think. I don't know if you like it. So this is just, you know, one possibility. Maybe you will have a better idea, and I look forward to see what everybody else will do with this tangle. But I think it's kind of good with what I did. A little bit of these shiniest whites, and that's it. And I'm just going to do the same with every one of them. So again, I might also zoom out as I do this, because you have seen now my approach to it, and you know exactly what I'll do. So I'm coming in with shades on the bottom part of each of them. So I'm looking at the horizontal lines first. and adding shades to the horizontal lines. And then, to be consistent with what I did before, I will also add shades to the right side. And you know, there are some, the lines are not straight, they are not vertical, but I'm just disregarding it. I'm making it simple, like using the simplest approach to shading without really imagining a light source somewhere and then looking closely to see where do I need to do something. And one other thing that I want to do is also add shade below this ribbon. I can't remember the name of the Zentangle tangle that we use. I think I might remember it when I stop intensively thinking about it. I'm notorious for not remembering the names easily, so excuse me for that. Anyway, I'm now into blending these shades. And then I also, so I'm now just turning my tile to make it easier to be kind of precise, to point the little tip of my blending stump towards the black line where my shade is placed, and I'm using these circular motions to move it away from that line, to spread that graphite away from the line so that the transitions between the blended part and the part that's not blended are smooth, hopefully. So that's my intention. And finally, these shades that I started with on the bottom of these horizontal lines. So something that all of these units have in common are the horizontal lines. The vertical ones are not really vertical in a sense. It's not a 90-degree angle. But other than that, okay, the shading is done and I kind of like what it looks like. So now I will add the highlights on the top and left part. And of course, if there are shades below my tangle that's above, which I still don't know the name to, if there's shade, I will not place highlights over those shades, even if it's the top part of the section. It's highlighted because this one is partly hidden behind the top one. So that's my logic behind it, which might be flawed, just to warn you. And finally, okay, I grabbed the 05 again. I'm not sure even what is it doing here because I'm not using it. And I want to add some almost like smudges of this very bright white gel pen to enhance these highlights. And you can certainly go for smooth lines or approach it in a different way. I'm just doing it kind of organically without overthinking and making it quick and fun. I hope that you like it. I kind of do. It's cute. I think it's cute. Maybe here I need just a little bit of shade, and maybe also right next to, oops, right next to the top part. And because I smudged it over here, I can add a little bit of white. So I think I'm done with day 15. It was a fun tangle. I think I need to remember it and come back to it. Again, thanks for drawing with me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.